Hi, this is the evaluation of the order trading system for March the 3rd, 2021. We had 3 trades on that day. 2 were buys and 1 was a short sell. First trade was DAL, Delta Airlines Incorporated. It tripped at 127.46 at a price of 48.94. It was a buy trade. It closed the day at 48.35, up 0.25%, and down a bit early morning, so it's not moving upwards. Early morning wise, 127, 27, so roughly around here. So it did spike up after that, and it was up there for a good 10, maybe 15 minutes after its peak, so I consider that a positive. But as you can see, after that peak, it came down and never recovered and went above the tripping price. So check the indications to see if they show. Yeah, OBV showing that spike, MACD showing that spike, came down, moved sideways, DI showing that spike. DI though showing a bit more negative. It just happened to be that spike, something tripped it to move upwards. So something caused the stock to jump up in the obviously mid-afternoon. Bollinger Band up and it came down. Bollinger Band almost sideways. So that would have been a tricky stock. The fact the markets were down yesterday, that not surprising to see a stock. It did trip, but because the markets were down yesterday, it's not surprising that it had a hard time maintaining that. Next trade is CTSH. That's Cognizant Technology Solutions Corporation. It tripped at 2:05:52 p.m. at a price of $72.99. It was a short sell. Surprisingly, it closed at 73.16, down 2.39%. So it closed above its tripping price. So 205. Okay, so it did drop 296. Yeah, see, it recovered right after it dropped. So another one. Interestingly enough, the stock is behaving, opposite from there. So 206. So we had a good 30 minutes of it being below its tripping price. I'm going to consider that a positive, even though you can see that it recovered after it hit its low point. So it's another picky trade. This is somewhat different from the other one. The markets were down yesterday, so you would think a downward trending stock that was tripped would at least continue somewhat downwards, but again it did not. It moved positive, but at least indicators are looking. OBV is showing that it was moving down fairly steadily all day long, and that bit of recovery at the end of the day, which is where it came up above its tripping price. MACD, same thing, came down, came up. DI showing very negative, and that it actually had a high negative drop in the afternoon when it tripped, and it came up at you can see DI and a positive, negative, or somewhat sideways. Bollinger Band showing the same thing, showing somewhat a bit of a sideways movement and then a drop at the end of the day. So that stock itself, indicator-wise, was showing a negative downward movement. Next trade is BLDR. That's Builders First Source Incorporated. It tripped at 3:10:39 p.m. in the afternoon. It was a buy trade. It tripped. Price was 44.05. It was a buy. It closed the day at 43.25. That's annoying. 310. Yeah, look. It it did go up a little bit, but you can see right after it peaked at roughly the time that it indicated 44:05, 44:11. It went up just a little bit, right at like 1 minute, and then like right after that, it went down, stayed down. Not enough time for it to be above its tripping price to be a positive trade, so we'll have to check to see if it's going to be a possible. OBV looks good across the board. You can see that it tripped in the afternoon, late afternoon. It that negative drop was where we caught it down. MACD showing the same thing, pretty much positive, and then the end of the day drop. We caught it around here, and then it just came down. Interesting enough, DI wasn't very strong. DI showing about half and half. I don't like it. You see it negative in the afternoon, which is what we saw. Bollinger Band. Yeah, Bollinger Band somewhat. It came up in the early morning, and the Bollinger Band showed somewhat of a negative movement, or excuse me, a sideways movement. So we happened to catch it around this point where there was a bit of a jump, and then came down, but still the overall result was somewhat sideways movement. So that the indicators are showing that that is a possible. There's nothing there that's, it was coming down in the afternoon, but the indicators are somewhat a good positive direction. Not heavily positive, but still positive. It's not like we could say that at the end of the day that it was drastically negative and that to make question marks. So that's why I'm going to say it's a possible. So that's 2 out of 3 stocks. Positive, 67%. And with the possible, that brings up to 100%. So technically, day after should have 100% stock of possibility. Okay, that's it for today. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.